because there has been a fine levied by Adam Silver against one of the NBA's young stars. Ja Morant has been fined $75,000 for multiple finger gun gestures. I think the most recent one, if you read this, is they told him about an hour before the game, listen, okay, this was the whole thing. Can't be doing it. And then he hits a shot. He can't help himself. He's like, I'm a sniper, baby. Oh, boom, 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 boom. You see that? This is the first quarter. This is the first quarter of the game. Probably 20 minutes after they talk to him. He just, natural instinct, Pavlov's dogs. Ring the bell, slobber, give a treat, keep it moving. Ja Morant says, I'll make a big-time shot. It doesn't matter when it is. Immediately, who's the shooter? I am. And this is obviously a story from a couple years back whenever he was on Instagram Lives, and every time he seemingly went on Instagram Live, he had to find a gun, and then it was obviously a big scene, and he was the next big star. He had a Powerade deal. He was going to be the guy that was not only going to lead Memphis, but the NBA into a next generation. He was going to be the next face of the NBA because this guy is electrifying to watch play basketball. I think in this particular game he went bananas. I think he had a game winner maybe 2 nights ago, whatever the case is. Ja is a great basketball player. The gun thing, though, I think the NBA has been saying, yes, we understand that other people might have a gun celebration. This thing is technically what is a gun, what is not a gun. But if you follow along with what the NFL has been trying to do, what the NBA is trying to do, they're trying not to promote the gun thing. So Ja Morant is obviously synonymous with that because of his lives and everything that's taken place. So I think they're probably going to judge him a little harsher than everybody else. Ja just needs to know that that's the reality of the business for him. And if his body just can't...
Yeah.
What if he shoots and then somebody comes and holds his arms down? Teammate needs to come in and hold. Maybe his dad. His dad's always courtside, right? I mean, the other night he hit a layup. I think 10 seconds left. He was dribbling down the court, so casual, shook somebody's shit out of him, does the layup, wins the game, and then he immediately was against Miami. It was unbelievable. Just so casual. 3 seconds left, no big deal. Step back, hit that, sprints down the other end, daps up his dad. I believe his dad is on the other end. Just runs down. How you doing? Keep it moving. There's dad. Maybe dad comes out after a big time shot and like that hug, just holds his arms.
Sure.
Down. Just holds his arms down in the entirety. Because we need you, Ja. Hey, Ja. We need you in the sports world, okay? We need you to continue to play, not only for Memphis, but for whoever. We just need you doing your shit because you are awesome. We'll talk to Shams about what the next steps are in the entirety of that.
I mean, with Ja, he is so good, but this goes all the way back to last year, and their entire, team has kind of crumbled. Maybe not crumbled, but changed in the last 2 weeks. Here, what they don't show is Buddy Hield very smartly kind of sneaks a little gun at Ja, maybe to kind of bait him into it. Yeah,
Draymond snitching on him a bit.
Yeah, Draymond says, look at him.
I don't think he was snitching. I think Draymond, what are we, this is.
Give him a technical foul.
What are we doing? Draymond and LeBron were getting after it last night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Draymond and LeBron, obviously very close friends. Draymond still got the Draymond, but whenever we talk to Shams, it's like, I appreciate that Adam Silver doesn't immediately just suspend Ja for this. Okay, $75,000 fine's a lot of money. Okay, I understand he's getting paid millions of dollars. Basketball players get compensated very well. $75,000 is still a good. I mean, that's a good amount of cash. Not nearly as much as it could be. And also, I assume that there's some conversation about him potentially being suspended for something like this, which has certainly happened in the past. So we're happy that that's not the case. Ja, we hope you can get through it. We hope you can get through a game and just take out a sword.
There you go.
Take out a sword.
Can he do the bow and arrow?
Bow and arrow, yeah. Pull out
I
don't know if you can do that one.
Yeah, I think the sword's the play.
Yeah, I think
is he doing a crossbow? Is that why?
We always ask this.
Oh, you think it's a handheld crossbow?
Because now he's down here. With
it is kind of a crossbow.
Before he was bang, 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 bang. Like this is the end.
Yeah.
But now
crossbow you can use during bow season too. So I think if you were to talk to gun experts, they would say that is a bow and arrow.
Because he's here. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm not too familiar with
Adam Silver say our gun people have talked about that maybe being a heavy barrel.
Yeah, combat shotgun.
Yeah, sawed off one.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe even, hell, he might be a sniper, might be a 50.
Oh, 50
shouldn't be putting hands up there.
But
the
3-pointer.
I mean, a lot of this, we'll talk to Shams about it. Shams has had to learn probably a lot about the Second Amendment and everything through it all. But, Ja, what we want you to know is we need you, okay? We all like watching you play basketball. If you think it's unfair, you're not allowed to do that. Okay, just go about your life thinking that it's unfair. That is just how it just can't be. And I saw his tweet, Ja this, Ja that, a couple of nights ago. And it's like, Ja, man, we need you, brother. We need you out here. That's all we want to see is how great you can be. Feels like Adam Silver in the NBA could have suspended him for this. Instead, they opt for a $75,000 fine, which people will say is nothing to him. $75,000 is still a lot of money. Is there, and I think what you reported there is like they talked to him before the game about like, hey, this cannot become like the trend again for you. Now, even if Ja thinks it's unfair and he's getting treated differently than everybody else, what he has done leading up to this point, and I know he was young, and I know we're kind of watching him mature in the public eye and everything like that, but he's going to be viewed differently whenever it comes to guns than everybody else in the NBA. Is he ever going to understand that? Is that going to be something that, like, we would like to see Ja continue to play basketball? Where are we at with the NBA talking to Ja about this, and how does it get resolved, do you think, ultimately?
Yeah, I mean, on Thursday, the league came out, I reported it. They warned Ja Morant. They warned also Buddy Hield. They warned the Grizzlies. They warned the Warriors as well. Like knock it off with the gun gestures. But of course, a lot of the messaging was around Ja Morant. He had the one right there that was a lot more blatant, a lot more forward than Buddy Hield's was. And we know the context with Ja Morant. Clearly, the league is watching it. The sentiment around Ja Morant is like he's been doing these gestures really all year, possibly in games that are not seen as much as the ones we saw national TV yesterday. The game against the Warriors, every Warriors game is big. So the league officials, they spoke to Ja Morant. They spoke to Buddy Hield. They spoke to everyone with the Grizzlies, everyone with the Warriors over the last 48 hours and basically said, don't do it again. It's inappropriate and refrain from doing it. And then Ja Morant, hours later, goes out and does it.
First quarter.
Twice, 4 minutes into the game, Ja Morant right there. Again, great three-pointer.
Great.
I think it might be time to find another celebration. The word that I'm getting today is that like I think there's an understanding here, and I think there would be some surprise if he does this again moving forward.
Really?
Wow.
There's a lot of other celebrations that can be possible. But guys around the league have been doing this. Like, this is not just a Ja Morant thing.
We agree, but not guys around the league.
Context of it. Exactly. The context around it is different. And the league is clearly watching this now.
Yeah, we would like to let Ja Morant know we are massive fans. Massive fans of Ja Morant.
The league is better when Ja Morant's on the floor thriving.
Bingo.
100%.
And we said this earlier. It's like, hey, Ja, you might view it as unfair because they're going to judge you differently than everybody else. Then, yeah, it's unfair then. Just move forward. We need you just to continue to play. We need you in the NBA. We need you in the sports world. And like we said earlier, take a sword out, bro. And even cut somebody's head off.
Yeah, or Yakuza.
Yeah,
or
do
you
whatever.
could holster it. Maybe that would have been a nice play on it. Maybe holster it. Like, it's done. It's over. Like,
yeah.
I'm not showing it. It's in the holster.
Maybe hit a game. Hold on, Shams. If we're in the brainstorming idea, let's definitely do that. Maybe he hits a game winner, and then he says and then he puts it away forever.
That's what I'm saying. That would be tight too, given the context of everything. Like, you guys are going to warn me for bringing it out. I'm putting it in the holster now.
He doesn't have holsters.
Huh?
We all come on now. We can always get holsters. I can report this, Pat. The league did speak to Ja Morant today, and they essentially said, "Listen, you were given a warning. The next step is a fine. There was not a threat of a suspension on the next one, but I think there's clear levels to this, right? There was a warning given, then there's a fine. Now, listen, if it does happen again, maybe it's an increased fine. They didn't get there with him on it, but they told him, "Listen, we told you already. Don't do it." And you did it.
He needs to take a sword out.
This is the consequence.
He needs to just take a sword out next time. Maybe even have a fucking shield.
Yeah.
Do the entire thing.
So sick.
And then just just keep it moving. John, what we're saying is this is not worth. We get it. You're because of things that have happened in the past. You might be judged differently than everybody else. You might feel offended by it. That's okay. You're allowed to feel that way. Just fucking come on. This doesn't need to be something that takes your basketball away from our world, your money away from your pocket. And then whenever you're done, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be so many gun ranges. You can, even in the backyard, you can set up probably a shooting range down here in Tennessee somewhere. You could You can do whatever you want with all these guns. Just don't shoot anybody else, but you do. And make sure you're licensed and have a permit, warrant, not a warrant, I'm sorry, papers and everything. And then when you're done, you can do that. Just now, because of things that happen, you see, back in the day, there was a time where anytime somebody went live around you, where's a gun? And that is why you're being judged differently. You don't deserve it. We're saying that.
And now he has fans, other players, people in the audience. They're provoking this too in a lot of ways. That's another thing I've heard in the last 24 hours. Like Ja Morant has also seen. Yeah,
exactly.
Buddy did one of these.
You don't have a gun, do you?
Pow, 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 pow.
Where's that at, bud? You got one?
Show me. There you go. Let me see it. Go ahead.
Let's see it. Ja, you got to beat all these things. Ja, they're trying to take you down, Ja. Don't let any of these people beat you, okay? Because we need you out there. And also, the NFL put in an initiative to get rid of the gun stuff. I like that the NBA is doing it as well because it's not something like, and I have guns, so it's not like but it is something I think that the sports world is trying to be like, hey, this is not necessarily how we should roll, especially with all the news coming out with all these killings that are happening in the world that we live in.